You have 1 minute to look at your cards. Time, you may begin.
The meeting room to come to order. Is there any new business to be transacted at this time?
Mr. Chairman,
Chandler.
I move that our chapter sell FFA calendars.
Second.
I object to the consideration of the question.
Objection has been called for. Shall the question be considered? All those in favor of objecting to the question, please rise. Please be seated. All opposed, please rise. Please be seated. There are less than 2/3 to the opposed and the objection is lost. Madam Secretary, please note that the motion fell with a vote of 4 to 1. Is there any new business that should be transacted at this time?
Mr. Chairman.
Chandler.
Mr. Chairman, I move that our chapter sell FFA calendars.
Second.
The move and second that our chapter sell FFA calendars. Is there any debate?
Mr. Chairman.
Chandler.
Mr. Chairman, I feel that this would be a wonderful idea to sell FFA calendars to our chapter. I believe that it would not only help our budget, which is at $550 right now, and it would double that, but I believe that it would get our name out there to let people know that we do help out our community in many ways. So get behind me and pass this motion.
Mr. Chairman.
Bubba.
I would speak in favor of this main motion. I feel that if we have FFA calendars, it would show the important dates and important activities that we have planned all throughout the year. So get behind me and pass this main motion.
Mr. Chairman,
Derek.
I agree with the maker of this motion because I talked to a member from Gilmer County, one of our neighbor counties, at the last cattle show in Carrollton, Georgia, and they said they had a real success with it. They made over about $2,000, and as y'all know, that Murray County is a bigger county than Gilmer, so I believe that we could do this and more. So get behind me and pass this motion.
Mr. Chairman,
Kayla.
I believe this is not a really good idea because I think that we don't have enough money yet, but we need to get money raised so we can do this and get the calendar put together. So please get behind me and fail this motion.
Mr. Chairman,
Amelia.
I'm all for this idea of selling FFA calendars. Our chapter is at 500 in our membership right now, and half of them are ninth graders. As you know, ninth graders are almost the top sellers every time in our fruit and plant sale, so I think they can help us out tremendously. So let's get behind this motion and pass it.
Mr. Chairman,
Derek.
I move to refer this motion to committee of 3 appointed by the chair.
Second.
To move and say that we refer this motion to a committee of 3 appointed by the chair. Is there any debate?
Mr. Chairman.
Derek.
I think this would be a wonderful idea that we refer this motion to committee because I believe that the committee can further investigate it and tell us when and how much money that we can spend on making these calendars. So please get behind me and pass this referral.
Mr. Chairman.
Bubba.
I'm against this referral. I believe that we do have enough knowledge to go ahead and get this type of business out of the way. So get behind me and fill this referral.
I rise to request approval.
Start your question.
It's awful hot in here. May we take our jackets off?
You know, there's a standing rule that we keep our FFA jackets on through the duration of all scheduled meetings. Your question is denied.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman.
Chandler.
Mr. Chairman, I feel that this is a very bad idea that we refer this to a committee. I believe that this would only take time that is really not needed. I believe that this motion is rather simple and we can go ahead and get it out of the way and dispose of it at this time. So get behind me and fail this referral.
Mr. Chairman,
Kayla.
I believe this is I believe this is a good referral because I think we do need to investigate this and see if we can come up with probably another fundraiser so we can get money so we can do these calendars. So please get behind me and pass this.
Is there any further debate on the referral? Seeing none, we're now see the vote. All those in favor of referring this motion to a committee of 3 appointed by the chair, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no.
No.
The noes have it. The motion for referral fails. Is there any further debate that our chapter sell FFA calendars?
I rise
Mr.
to point of
Chairman.
order.
State your point.
I feel that you're calling on me unfairly.
I believe I'm calling on everyone equally and fairly. Your point is not well taken.
Thank you.
I rise to parliamentary inquiry.
State your inquiry.
What kind of vote does this motion take?
This motion takes a majority vote.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman.
Bubba.
I move to amend this main motion by striking out calendars and putting in shirts. Second.
To move and say that we amend the motion by striking out calendar and inserting in t-shirts. So it reads that our chapter sell FFA t-shirts. Is there any debate?
Mr. Chairman.
Bubba.
I believe this would be a phenomenal idea if we strike out calendars and put in t-shirts. I believe that calendars wouldn't sell as much as t-shirts because some people need clothes, and if we sell them for cheap and they're made for cheap, then we would be able to sell more and more and get more profit out of it. So get behind me and pass this amendment.
Mr. Chairman.
Chandler.
Mr. Chairman, I believe that this would be a bad idea to amend this by adding in shirts. I believe that the calendars are a more vital part of information that people need more than t-shirts. The calendars tell our events that we do that we do throughout the year, and I believe that if people know exactly what these dates are, that these will be more important than giving out T-shirts. So get behind me and fellas amendment.
Mr. Chairman,
Derek.
I disagree with the maker of this motion because, as you all know, the FCA and the FCA and other groups that sell T-shirts for their clubs, and I believe that we need to do something different so we can get our name out there. So please get behind me and fail this amendment.
Mr. Chairman.
Kayla.
I believe this is not a great idea because, as you know, we'd have to make sure we have all the sizes for people. We might not have enough T-shirts and somebody could get disappointed because they don't get a T-shirt. So please get behind me and fail this amendment.
Mr. Chairman.
Amelia.
On the contrary to the maker of this amendment, I would still believe this would be a bad idea. Because if you made calendars, you could sell spots in them for $20 a piece, and this would be an increase of 25% than you would get from the shirts. Since you might not have everyone's correct size, and you would have the calendars at all times. So please, let's vote yes on this motion.
Is there any further debate on the amendment? Seeing none, now see the vote. All those in favor of amending the motion by striking out calendars and inserting T-shirts, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no.
No.
No's have it, the motion is lost. Is there any further debate that our chapter sell FFA calendars?
Mr. Chairman.
Chandler.
Mr. Chairman, I'm still in agreement with this motion. I believe that calendars is a much easier thing to obtain than T-shirts are. T-shirts these days, there's a large demand for them. I believe the price of them goes up, and that you have to have various sizes for each person. I believe that with the calendars, you can order a certain amount of them, and they're cheaper to buy, and we can make more money off of them. So get behind me and pass this motion.
Mr. Chairman,
Bubba.
I'm still in strong agreement with this main motion. I believe that as long as we have calendars, we can still get them out there and we can show them everybody exactly what we can do and get our name out there and let everybody know that we are really committed to our FFA and to everybody else. So get behind me and pass this.
Mr. Chairman.
Caleb.
I move to limit debate to 2 discussions per person.
Second.
So move and say that we limit debate to 2 times per person. We'll now proceed to vote. All those in favor of limit debate to 2 times per person, please rise. Please be seated. All opposed, please rise. Please be seated. There are less than 2/3 in the affirmative and the motion is lost. Madam Secretary, please note the motion failed with a vote of 4 to 1. Is there any further debate that our chapter shall FFA calendars?
Mr. Chairman,
Derek.
as you all know, that our FFA officer team has decided to go out to the elementary schools around about the county and participate in the Food for America program the same week that y'all have scheduled to sell the FFA calendars on. So I believe that going around and telling the little kids telling the young students at the elementary schools where their food comes from is a lot more important than making profit for our chapter. So please vote no for this motion.
Mr. Chairman.
Caleb.
I move to take a 10-minute recess.
Second.
So move and say that we take a 10-minute recess. Seeing how this motion is amendable, are there any amendments? Seeing none, we'll now see the vote. All those in favor of recess for 10 minutes, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no.
No.
The noes have it, the motion to recess failed. Is there any further debate that our chapter shall FFA calendars?
Mr. Chairman.
Amelia.
From talking to the Key Club who did this earlier in the year, they said it took over 2 months to finish out this project and as a fundraiser. Our chapter does not have 2 months to spend on this project. We have Region Rally coming up, the state convention, national chapter award, plenty of things that we need to get our hands on. As the old saying goes, we don't need to get too many irons in the fire. So I think we should concentrate on what we have at this time and pass this maybe at a later time. So let's vote down this motion.
Mr. Chairman.
Caleb.
I believe this is an awful idea because whenever I was at FFA camp last year, I talked to someone who did this their past year. They said it didn't raise that much money, that they didn't hardly even make any. And I think we could do another fundraiser to raise money and maybe get even more than calendars would raise. So please get behind me and fail this motion.
Mr. Chairman.
Amelia.
Move to postpone this motion indefinitely until our next scheduled meeting.
Second.
So move and say that we postpone this motion until our next scheduled meeting. Is there any debate?
Mr. Chairman.
Amelia.
Hopefully this next scheduled meeting we'll be able to further discuss into this and be out of the way of the National Chapter Award and the Region Rally that's coming up. So as we look into this, let's look further and postpone this motion definitely.
Is there any further debate on postponement? Seeing none, now see the vote. All those in favor of postponing this motion to our next scheduled meeting, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no.
No.
The noes have it, the motion postponing until the next scheduled meeting fails. Is there any further debate that our chapter shall FFA calendars? Seeing none, now see the vote. All those in favor that our chapter shall FFA calendars, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no.
No.
The ayes have it, this motion passes. Is there any new business to be transacted?
Mr. Chairman,
Chandler.
I move to adjourn this meeting.
The move and say that we adjourn this meeting. We'll now proceed to vote. All those in favor of adjourning this meeting, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no.
No.
The ayes have it, this meeting is adjourned. Honorable judges, this concludes our presentation. We'll now Chief questions.